the Baldor CDP 3330. And let's see, I got a couple of things to do. One is I gotta wire this thing up, but I gotta wait for the controller to come in, and that thing comes in on Saturday, I think. No, Monday, is what it looks like. So this guy goes in next, and this is whatever that is, AK34X5. Is that 34 millimeter? No, it can't be 3.4 centimeters because that would be 2.54 inches times 3, which is, no, where the fuck, it's not that. I think this is just a little, make sure these guys are out. It's like a 3-inch pulley. Sorry, Jesus, brain fart there. All right, killers, you're back. Ooh, let me go see if I can get this thing to work here. All right, cool. This might make it a little bit easier to see what is going on. Okay. So this guy is going to go on here. Hopefully I got, oh, tell me I fucking got the right goddamn. This is a 5/8. Oh, it doesn't say here what the spindle size is. Do I have my, that's the right size. I just got, oh yeah, easy. Shit, you can't really see that, can you? Yeah, there you go. Cool. So that's it. This guy goes on here. And then what we've got to do is, because it is a keyed shaft, we're going to see if we can get a key on there. And I think these guys are going to be a little too big. This is a 1/4. Yep. And oh my God, this is going to be like my porridge is too hot. My porridge is too cold. Motherfucker, too small. This is an 1/8 key. And so we need a quarter. No. What's the size of the key we need here? I might have to go run and get it. And I don't think I have. No. I guess maybe one of you guys knows. I could grind this guy down. This is a little 1/4-inch key. And get that to fit. And that is one thing to do. The other thing to do is, oh, I might have to, I wonder if the, I will be right back, but I'll put a sign on here that I'll be right back. So we gotta go grab this base piece. But let me put this, it's like the least digitally savvy dude streaming on YouTube. Hold on. Be right back. Can you see that? Yeah. Is that backwards for you? Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta get a couple things. Oh no. Ah, awesome, it's right here. I already transferred it into, we don't need to be right back. Badass. Yeah, look at this thing. So I bought this. This is the base for that. Made in China. Thanks, China. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this thing done. So this, I don't need this. I don't need all of this. We can get it in the trash-ola. Maybe I can turn the lights on. Is that better? You got it right backwards, like you're in the war room. Oh, for Christ's sake! It's not right and forwards. Well, I guess it's good. A good thing I didn't have the be right back thing. Let's see. So, all right, we got our first issue, which is that this base I was thinking was going to fit on here, but it's not. And this will need some kind of cradle. What a pain in the ass. All right, well, it's good to know that now, because when this thing gets spinning, it's not going to be super fun to find that out the hard way. Fuck. So here's my problem, is that this piece here only has these little holes on the bottom. The two, I'm not sure if you can see them, the two on the outside are threaded, the two on the inside are not. And what I've got, what I bought as a base for the thing is this. And I just pulled off a little plastic cover. Oh, total bummer. I was thinking that would work. It's not going to, so I'm gonna have to look up and figure out what I have to do. So I've got a couple things that I've got to figure out. The key, gotta get the right size, write this shit down. I'm not gonna write this backwards, but I've got to get a key size. I could grind this down, but it's probably nicer just to have whatever, a foot of that laying around. And then I have to get the cradle for the motor. And it looks like there's no way that that's how that goes on. No. I'll have to look this thing up online and see. Maybe it just does get secured with these two mounts. I mean, this doesn't seem like, no, that's not right. And it didn't seem right, and I figured I'd check it, but it's not. Okay, and then the next thing is, let's take a look at, while we have it, we'll get this guy out. So that can live on here for now. This guy can go back in our little set. And then this guy, emergency stop. So my plan here, USPS tracking, the Cox 3275 from, whoever sent me this knows who I am. That was kind of, I don't know, kind of funny. I think I said this in the last one, but they're like, hey, I just saw you bought this. They love the work you do. Super cool. Yeah, let me know what you're gonna use it for. But this is the emergency stop for the motor. So let's take this guy out. All right, looks like we got this. That probably goes on like that. Cool. Ooh, how does this work? Oh, I guess this guy. Oh, cool. And then you release it. Nice. All right, so here's the whole button piece. Push it down to stop. It's a nice, good sized thing. You can see how big that thing is, and then twist to release. So push in, twist to release. Yeah, cool. And then there's the bottom of it. It can't be that hard to figure out what those things are for, especially since it says some electrical crap on here that some of you can probably read. It says 11, and then some gate thing 12. Looks like the flow of energy is that way, so my guess is that the positive comes here and the positive comes out there and then goes on its merry way. And I have to mount, oh look, and there's some nice leads right here, and these guys, oh, they came with it, cool. Positive, positive, da 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 da. So these guys must go in here. That gets tightened down. No, that's not right. One of these guys goes in and one of these guys goes out, and one of them goes from the wherever the power is and one of them goes to. Okay, cool. And then this thing sits like that. Oh, that's cool. So I'll have to, good thing I got some drill bits, some bigger drill bits. I'll have to drill out a hole. I have to get a piece of metal and drill a hole out for that and mount that thing. And then I have to get the controller for this and the cradle. Bummer about the mount not working. Total bummer. All right, well, maybe there's not as much to do as I thought. Let's see what else. I've got a ton of parts here. I'll actually see if I can show you what we got, just since we're sitting in the garage and we're here. Let's switch this guy around. So here is the layout right now of the giant. I wouldn't say this is a shit show, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So bus bar for all the neutral stuff, tons of different fuses, more fuses, bigger fuses, and they're all kind of for and around these two things. So this is the super cap, the 500 farad super cap. I'm not sure what was in here. Something important, I'm sure. And then we've got the rest of this stuff here. which, oh, this is super cool. Let me see if I can pull this guy out. This is the slip ring that allows me to put some stress sensors. What is it? What are they called? They're not stress sensors, but they measure tension on the axle, so I can measure torque. And so that basically one of the sides kind of spins, one of the sides doesn't, so that one of these can spin with the axle, and then one of them is mounted to the frame, and I can get the data to transmit. You can see this was what came off of the old alternator. I don't have the alternator with me. It's over at my buddy Adrian's house, and then I got so much stuff from DigiKey here. Half of this stuff I don't understand. I am super excited to figure out how to use these guys. That should be rad. Let's see, what are those? More capacitors. We got a couple of, check these things out. These giants, I'll bring this back here so I can set this up and you can see what they are. These are the these guys are the 100-watt dump resistors. So when the sled is spinning and the battery is full, or it's going faster than the super cap can take, which is more or less impossible because that super cap is 285 amps, and the most I think someone is going to push is going to be 80, maybe 90. But these guys are what we're going to use to get rid of all that heat. Look how big that thing is. So that's just a big old dump resistor. 300 watt. That's right, 300 watt, 2.5 ohm. It says 2.5 ohm, 10%. I'm not sure. Well, it's going to be backwards anyway. I don't know what the 10% is. I'm sure some of you electrical engineer types will know what that is, but I just thought that was pretty cool. The thing is huge. And there are going to be 4 of them total, so that it can dump 1,200 watts, which I think is more than anyone can push for any reasonable amount of time. It's possible someone could push 1,200 watts. I know that some studies on the Chinese athletes in the sport of skeleton, which is that thing where you push a sled at the top of an ice slope like luge, but I think it's just a one-person thing, and then you hop on the sled and ride it down at fucking crazy speeds. Those guys generate 1,000 watts in the first 15 meters. But that's, I don't know how big those guys are. They're probably pretty big. That's a dude pushing for 15 meters, which is going to take them, I don't know, like 2 to 5 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to push 1,200 watts for more than a couple seconds, and that's going to be fun. So those are some of the super cool things that I saw coming in. Let's see what else is going on. I think that's like there's a ton of other stuff here on the sled, and I'm going to have to get way better at using the soldering station. What else do I have here? So this is one part of the jack shaft. So this is the small side of the jack shaft. There'll be a much larger side. So this I think is 3-inch, maybe 2.9. The other side is 18.75. So as this thing turns, that thing also turns. And then the 18.75 goes down to a 2.6 on the alternator. And the 2.6 inch on the alternator then turns at, I think at 1 mile an hour, you're getting about 1,700 RPM. So one thing I've got to figure out is that this is 1,750 RPM. If this is going to spin the alternator, and the alternator, I think the thing is already on there, please, already on there, is slightly smaller than this, then maybe we'll get 2,000 RPM out of the alternator on the test bench. And we want to measure up to, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 RPM. So I've got to figure out a way to get whatever's coming off this to go to something small enough, and maybe it's just to run it to the jack shaft on the sled. If I have this sled in here, that might be a cool way to do it, although I'd have to figure out how to mount this on the sled, and the sled is already getting pretty full up with stuff. So there's that. All right, well, I think that's enough for tonight. Now I gotta go buy some more crap. What else have I got here? I got these, so these are, when I said the jack shaft, that's in the middle of the sled, and these are what the jack shaft mounts to. These are little bearings. So we're gonna figure out how we're gonna mount these. but these guys will just, yeah, mount there. Little, Jesus Christ, 1-inch shaft goes into that sucker. Probably should have put the, no, I don't know where this thing goes on. Huh. Yeah, gotta figure out how to mount those things on. I was gonna say I probably should have put the lock washer in, but it doesn't appear that would work to hold this thing on. I'm actually not sure what this thing does. I'm sure one of you guys know what this guy, which is what just fell off, does. But it's not me. Not yet, at least. Figure it out as I go. What else came in that's rad? There's the Victron DC to DC charger. So for those of you who remember the helium days, we're back to using some Victron stuff. And that is this guy right here. And this is what goes in between the battery and the super cap. So the super cap generates and stores temporarily all of the kind of big energy, and then bleeds it into this, or sends it to this, and then this slowly fills up the battery. That's the intent. I think Greydosh told me that. I think he told me that should work, but there's a ton of different aspects to that as well. Probably what else? We got a little blower fan on there. This guy. So we'll mount this, and the plan is to mount this on the kind of front of the sled, so it looks like those old muscle cars. You switch from Renogy to Victron MPPT, yeah. So this should burn some amps, and then it'll also blow air over the resistors. I think I've got some, yeah. I've got this guy. I don't know what this is. This is an MPPT 7510. So this is a solar charge controller. You're saying Victron. Got one of those, and then, oh no shit. Fuck, I didn't even know I had this thing. A battery monitor. I should totally put this thing on and set it up. Oh, that's rad. Huh. BMV 712. Smart battery monitor. I forgot I even had that thing, but I could totally use that for shit, and there's extra batteries in there. Cool. Yeah. So that's the haps. All right, guys. I think that's probably enough. Bluetooth. Yeah. All this stuff is Bluetooth. The TR Orion TR Smart Isolated DC to DC charger is, I believe that's Bluetooth, and I think that is actually a wire in the ESP32 that's going to control that. But yeah, that should do it. The workshop is so much more crowded than when I was doing just helium stuff. I've got this sewing machine in here now, and it's taking up a ton of the room. I'm not sure if I can. I'm sure I can show that to you. This guy. Oh, you cocksucker. This guy right there. Pull my little Juki, and I made a cover for it, which is this thing. Sewed that up the other day because I'm going to move this thing outside so that I get my garage back. And then this aluminum piece here is what is it? 043 60 something aluminum, 6063 maybe. That's going to be the shell of the sled, so that should be pretty cool. All right, killers. I think that's all I got. I will see you guys later. I'm out. If I can figure out how to turn it off. There we go.